Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Welcome to another Geico 15-minute moto show. You know, on this show we talk all about the passion of motorcycling, and we talk to builders and racers and people who just love to ride. Well, today's guest, Hughes, had a tremendous career racing in motocross and supercross. Lots of wins, motocross to nation victories. But now Ryan has found a way to take his passion for motorcycling and turn that into a whole nother level of passion that still deals with motorcycles. Ryan, how you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. We had a little setback about 3 weeks ago, but from that, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because this was the third time you've experienced paralysis, if I remember correctly. You're closing in on some 30 broken bones, some 30 surgeries. I mean, buddy, you've put your body through the ringer when it comes to racing dirt bikes. But you have found a way to learn from all of that, not lose your passion for motorcycling, and expand that into a whole nother business, but at the same time, giving back to the people you're passionate about.
Yeah, I've been blessed with having a passion for something that has allowed me to travel the world, see the most amazing countries, meet the most amazing people, have the best experiences, and also experience the worst ones. You know what I mean? So motorcycling has brought me so much pleasure in my life, but also so much kind of tragedy. So it's like almost like a relationship. You know what I mean? It's like the good and the bad. And so yes, the goods have always, the ones that we pat ourselves on the back, but when the bad times happen, how do you take it? It's up to us. We're the only species on earth that have, a will, the ability to decide. So it's up to us when something comes about to take it this way or take it that way. So yeah, I've experienced a lot of tragedy in my life, and in my sport, but in turn, that's allowed me to be a better coach, a better teacher, to be able to understand where a lot of these people that are struggling are coming from. When everything just goes good in your career, then you don't understand kind of the struggle. You don't understand the when you get into a hole or when you have all these injuries like I have. So now I can speak to so many people on so many different levels because I've experienced so many different levels of the sport, winning the Motocross to nations, being a factory rider for so many years, but then also, like you say, experiencing being paralyzed 3 times, breaking my back, breaking my neck, all these concussions and surgeries and different things I've had. You're able to kind of see it from a different side. You're able to see it from a different perspective, a different perspective, because not everybody doesn't have that storyline career. Everybody doesn't make it to the pro career in the pro level, but that passion that people have is just the same as Ryan Dungey, as a guy that works during the week and rides on the weekend. Motocross brings something to you that you can't find in any other sport or any other kind of activity, I believe. If you look at it, motorcycle is the most inventive thing that's ever came out. There's nothing you can do more than on a motorcycle. You can ride on the snow. Now you can ride on the water. You can ride on the sand. You can go uphill, downhill, do wheelies, backflips, supercross. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so amazing this invention was, and I was just able to be blessed to have that. Have that gift to be able to do it so well, and then now in turn be able to teach it so well. And so that's my passion now. Not so much the riding part. I was just doing that for fun, and life wanted me to stop really quick because 3 weeks ago I broke my neck. I dislocated my neck, broke C6 and a couple vertebrae, so I had surgery on that, and I was paralyzed from left side down, so still dealing with a little bit with my left arm, but everything's coming back. But again, in turn, now I can be able to teach people so much better, and that's my passion, is being able to give back to the sport, be able to give back to the sport my experiences of the highs and the lows. And that's where I can teach so many kids that are coming into the sport, and so many people are coming into the sport, how to do it properly, how to use the right technique, how to use the right approach. What is the right mindset? What about nutrition? What about your rest? What about if you get injured, and how do you come back from injury? These are the things that I'm trying to bring to the sport, because I feel the sport got kind of stale and very kind of, with blinders on, and nobody wanted to look outside the box. So when I started coaching and teaching, my outlook was outside the box a little bit, but it was very functional ways. But everybody thought I was crazy. Well, now 10 years later, everybody's following the ways that were outside the box because they were just different. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
whenever, as you know, in motorsports, if you bring anything different in, people are going to have backlash because what? Well, this is how we've always done it. Well, this is just how I do it, because there's so much kind of consequence to it. So you don't ever want to try anything new. And so it takes time for some new ideas to come in. And that's where I feel I'm in the sport, is trying to bring in a new outlook and a new approach to, to it, instead of being so stale.
You're one of the most passionate people I know, period. I mean, just you attack everything with passion. Where did the passion for motorcycling begin for you?
You know what? I do not know where this comes from. I even questioned myself. I'm like, how do I just keep going? How does all these things happen to me and I can just have the ability just to kind of keep going and not really go backwards? You know what I mean? Yeah, we all feel bummed out. We all have those days that we cry. We all have those days that we bawl, poor me's. But right after that, it's just like, boom, how do I make this situation better? So since I was a kid, when I played soccer, I played football, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best, and I was going to be the best, and I was the meanest kid on the team. So then motocross was almost like my outlet. You know what I mean? My outlet for all this aggression I have, all this passion I have, all this energy I have. Motocross was that outlet, because one, it challenged me. Two, it was so damn difficult. But three, there was such a consequence that it kept you so sharp. You know what I mean? And then actually four, it was all on my shoulders. If I did good, I pat myself on the back. If I did bad, I look at myself in the mirror. I didn't have anybody else to put the pressure on or to blame. And so, my passion, I think just my passion is for life. I love to be alive. It's a blessing to be a human being. Just think about it. Think about being a human being and how many amazing things come out of us: thoughts, emotions, actions, loves, hobbies, friendships, experiences, views, smells. I mean, it's amazing to be a human being, and we kind of forget how kind of special we are and how special life is. I mean, this is magic, man. Life is magic. But we don't look at it. We look at it as, oh, it's stale. So when you look at it when it's kind of magic, then you kind of have more passion for it, I believe. You're more excited about it no matter what it is. Even me now, I don't get to ride much and do these different things, but my passion for coaching, my passion for building this kind of retreat that I'm building on my land to help heal people and teach people how to come back to their instincts, come back, to their, kind of be grounded again, because we've lost our way so much. And then also there's so many people, like we talked about before, that aren't even professionals, that motocross has beat up, has beat up. So how can I help these riders learn how to maybe have a better lifestyle so that they don't feel so beat up, that they're having maybe a less pain. They're not going down this pharmaceutical drug way. You get what I'm saying? And we need this in our sport, because there's nobody in our sport that really wants to speak up or talk. Everybody's afraid. Why? Because they have to protect the check. They have to protect a position at their job, and they have to protect some persona that they built up. Well, I've always told somebody I don't want any sponsors, so I don't have to save face. You know what I mean? And as you know me, I never gave what anybody thought. So I like to speak, what's from my heart. And this is why I feel, I guess I'm so passionate about what I do.
At what point in time, because motorcycle racing, no matter what form you do, any athlete at the top of their game has to be extremely selfish, right? Because it's all about you to get to the point where you can perform at your best. Everything has to be put to the side so you can train and prep the way you need to be. But now here you are, you're very selfless in the fact that now you're giving back tremendously to the sport, to the community, to people. You do it every day through your social media posts and everything else that you're doing. At what point in time did that shift happen?
Yes, I would have to say I'm probably one of the most selfish people that's ever lived as being an athlete when it was go time, when it was professional time, when it was a job. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I was very selfish. And that's the hardest part, when you retire, so to speak, is you find out the whole world doesn't revolve around you anymore. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Everybody, you have stuff to do now? Wait a minute. I thought it was me. So I don't know. I just once I retired, I kind of just, I don't know, man. It was a weird thing. It's almost like, I don't want to sound hippy dippy, weird, spiritual, whatever, but it's just like I was downloaded with all this information. I was downloaded with this gift of being able to explain something that's so technical, so simple, so simply that everybody in the sport can understand it from beginner to pro. And so I guess this is what life has been trying to get me at, is by paralyzing me 3 times, is to be more of the giver, more of the coach than the doer. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Because these 3 things that have happened to me, there were times in my life where, switches or changes needed to happen, or different roads needed to happen. And you don't recognize it until you go through the situation, like just this one with my neck. I didn't realize how wound up I was. I didn't realize how tired I was. I didn't realize how overworked I was. I didn't realize how overstressed I was because of going through these last 3 years of divorce and getting this place out here and trying to build this place up, keeping work going, trying to keep up with an image, all these things, you don't realize it. So now I realize that this is life trying to slow me down to be more of the teacher, the doer, the warrior of the physical side. That guy's dead. The sword is broken, but I have to learn, I have to realize that. And now, start being the warrior with a feather, right?
Yeah.
And now instead of I cut you, I tickle you. So
what's really funny,
kind of where I see these things going. You know what I mean?
The other thing that's really funny, Rhino, is when I think about you, there's the polar opposite Ryan Hughes that I know. There's a guy I got to know who was this pro motorcycle racer back in the 90s, which was like the end-all era of just craziness in the moto world. I mean, what you talk about image, the image of all of you guys that were at the top of the game in that era is so far removed from the guy I'm looking at right now, out there in this vast wilderness. I don't even know what I call the hat you're wearing. And, it's like, there you are doing this thing, living off the land almost, is so far away from the dude that was top of the sport in the 90s. Do you ever stand out there, just in your peaceful area that you're at now, and think back to those days in the 90s and go, wow, just how the hell did I survive that?
There's times that, pictures come up or videos or something come up and takes me back to that time. And I look at myself and, or I listen to an interview or something, and I see how, I don't know, just kind of how dead I was. Not dead, but I was one dimension. Train, race, and it didn't matter what was in front of me, what came around me, get the out of my way. This is what I got to do. You know what I mean? I was a one-dimensional person. But once that went away, all that absolute obsessional focus on something now almost just went boom, went everywhere. So now I started being more interested in so many different things, interested more in art, interested more in meditation, interested more in yoga, interested more in, hiking and different things. It's just because when you're obsessionally focused at something, as I was, well, there's nothing going to come around that's going to replace motocross to be able to have that much focus on. So it's almost like I had to have 10 other things to grab my attention for all that focus, or, all that focus that I have, because I have that ability. Anything that I do, it's like everything disappears until I get it done.
And you've taken this drive now, this passion that you had on the racing side, and you've turned it into multi-layers as a businessman as well. And it's all about healing people, helping people perform, so forth and so on. And you're doing this with a variety of different products. So tell me about what you do for old announcer guy like me. What have you got for me through things like Rhino Power, Rhino Sauna, podcasts that you're doing, all these different things? Heal me, Rhino. Make me better announcer guy. What do you got for me?
Well, the first thing that we would do is definitely get, because again, a car or a motorcycle isn't good, and doesn't matter what you did to it if you don't have gasoline in it, right? So gasoline is the first thing that we need to do to you. So we need to make sure that you have the right aminos. You're not just trying to get energy just straight from coffee, because then you have that up and down. Making sure that you have steady food in you through the day, and you're not searching for that fast food and all these different things. So again, when you can start putting better nutrients in you, well, then your clarity is going to be sharper. Your energy is going to be longer. You're going to be more balanced with your emotions and stuff like that, because you're not going to be sporadic ups and downs with being hungry and not. The second thing would be we need to detox you, because this world and everything is so dirty. So we get you in a Rhino sauna, and that would detox you down to the cellular level, and that would balance your hormones. You would start stripping a lot of excess weight off you. You will start sleeping better. An ice bath too, but a lot of people, the sauna, I would say, is number one. The ice bath is just an extra thing, because that helps you kind of get a lot of inflammation out of you, kind of reboots the system, if that makes sense, right? And then the fourth thing would be getting you doing movement. What's your movement? How about doing some hiking? How about doing some running in the trails? How about get outside the gym, get off the treadmill, get off stuff that is stuck to the ground? You get what I'm saying? And get into nature, get into the body, getting that natural movement, that natural groove to it. And then also you're connecting with nature. You're getting outside of this fluorescent light, this fake environment you're in, and you're by yourself. That's what you need. You need to learn how to understand what you're thinking and not be so paying attention to what everybody else is thinking. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
that would be the one way that I would try to heal you, is slowly that way. And then, I'd have you come out here and stay with me in my cottages, right? We got solar, we got outdoor bathroom, showers. It's the most beautiful view you've ever seen, as you see behind me. So, yeah, that's how I would do it.
I love it. So Ryan, I could talk to you about this stuff for hours with you. I've always found you a great friend and very interesting when it comes to all this stuff. If people want to follow you, how do they go about doing it?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Ryno Global. You can I have a supplement company called Rhino Power, sauna company, Rhino Sauna. Right? I have an online gym where we have a bunch of different videos, riding videos, workout videos, nutrition recipes, all these different things, all videoed and explained. That's at Rhino Power Gym. And then I have an invention that I created, which is these foot pegs and also this motorcycle trainer. We have patents on them and everything, and that's Rhino equipment.
I love it.
So that's where you can kind of get all my stuff. If you also want to know about all my coaching and my teaching, and that's what my gift is, is at the Rhino Institute.
I love it. Well, Rhino, great talking to you, brother. I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. Folks, give him a follow at Rhino Global on Instagram. I promise you will find it extremely entertaining and you'll learn a lot. I'm Ralph Shaheen. Thanks for joining us here in the Geico 15-Minute Moto Show. And don't forget, we have a new one for you every Monday right here on Speed Sport. Talk to you soon.